Hello, my friends. Jacob is here once again. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for pressing play, for spending some time with me. We're about to get a little trippy. We're about to go into the land of dreams, which is actually going on right now in our life, playing out in the Golan Heights. You ever have a dream, right? You wake up and you think to yourself, my goodness, what does that mean? All of these interesting and intricate details, emotion, pain, love, joy, hate, anger, beautiful landscapes, and treacherous, terrible nightmares. All of these things orchestrated within you. Who creates that? Where does it come from? Then you wake up and you know that part of psychology, a lot of psychology, is understanding dreams, because the profession believes that there is something to them. Well, I'm here to say that dreams make up about a third of the scriptures. They're very important. In every major holy book, dreams play an important role. Now, you thought you were going to hear just about what's going on in Israel with Golan Heights, now that Trump just signed it over. I'm going to get into what Golan really means, and who it's symbolic of, and what that really means and dictates for all of us. You thought that was just going to talk about Pompeo coming on there and saying, yes, God, I believe God raised up Trump to be a savior in Israel. All of this really cool spiritual and religious undertones happening, playing out in mainstream news. Why is that? Why do we have an administration that says that God is the chosen leader? Sarah Sanders Huckabee, right? She said it. Now Pompeo said it. You got, I don't know how many Christian leaders. You got Trump minted on a coin. You got all those head guys in Israel saying he's the dude. You got the third temple being built. You have all of these things playing out in the literal. I had said in a couple of videos ago that there was going to be talk that one day soon Trump was going to just basically recognize that Golan, which is a stretch of land, a very strategic stretch of land between Syria and Israel, which was liberated, supposedly occupied, we should say, during the 6-Day War. Occupied after the 6-Day War, that miraculous war, how Israel won, which it shouldn't have won, all those things, 6 days, 6 the number of man, that this piece of land, which has been considered occupied territory, now, like tomorrow or in the day or two, Trump is going to sign Golan over. So you ever have a dream, and in that dream, you wonder what all these things mean, and you peel back the layers, right? Sometimes life can feel like a dream. I'm going somewhere with this, so hang on, okay? I'm going somewhere. Sometimes you could be driving to the gym like I was just yesterday, and out of nowhere, you see a bunch of turkeys just walking down the street in your neighborhood, which you've never seen before, and you question, what does it mean? Hey, turkey! Turkeys, what are you doing here? What are you doing here, you turkeys? Dreams don't make sense unless you start to ask for their meaning, unless you start to seek the deeper meaning. Everything is like a dream. They say that the world as it is, Hawking on his deathbed, him and Professor Hertog, that big quantum theory guy, the two of them releasing that paper saying this is a hologram. You got all the top dudes saying this is like a simulation. You got people paying millions of dollars trying to find a way out. TED Talk after symposium after lecture on how what we perceive as the waking reality is sort of like a dream. So, I'm here to peel back a couple of layers here, because I'm here to explain to you why all this stuff that's happening in Israel, right? We can look at it almost like a dream. We can look at it and see that and not get caught up in the natural, which is what a lot of people are doing. They're getting caught up in the natural because, of course, you're going to get a bunch of people who are going to say that this is part of prophecy, right? Golan being named Israel's territory. That is part of prophecy, right? Sure. But we've been talking a lot about this stuff for a while now. We talked about the 7 years of plenty that we've come out of, down to the 7 years of famine, marked by that 7-year eclipse with the big X over the United States. All of this stuff that is playing out, all of these prophetic signs that we've seen, and now Golan. Well, I got good news for you. I look at it very much like a dream, and then I say, well, what does it mean? What is it that you're trying to say? How does this connect to me in the real world? Why is it that we have leaders now talking like our president was chosen by God? That's why I think it's so cool that we see Golan now being officially decreed to be in Israel's sovereign territory, given to Israel by God. Now, what is Golan? Okay, Golan is a small town in Manasseh. So, of course, there's symbolism there. Manasseh was Joseph's firstborn son, because the first part of Joseph's life was horrible. He was miserable. He was put down, right? His brothers hated him. He was left for dead, right? He was like sold into slavery, and everywhere he went, God blessed him, and he rose, and he rose, and he rose. He was falsely accused, thrown into prison, where he interpreted the dreams. Next thing you know, he's in front of Pharaoh, and he's interpreting that dream. 7 years and 7 years. 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine. Do you see how it's starting to see, like, you see, right? Because you're a seeker. You're like me. You want to know more. You got fed up with the status quo. You got fed up going to religion. And you said, you know what? If there's a God, I don't need anybody to tell me. I can just seek. And just like unfolding the dream, you look at your life and you say, what does it mean? Why is my room always a mess? Why is my car always breaking down? Why am I this? Why am I that? Why do bad things seem to happen to me? And you start to understand that everything is working together to get you to this place right now, where Golan Heights is going to be named a sovereign territory of Israel. Now, I don't mean to say that this is like great, that like Netanyahu and everybody over there in Israel is awesome. I don't mean to say that, because I'm not focused on the natural. I'm saying that the natural is happening so we can understand the light that's been hiding right in the room with us all, inside all of us. We can understand the truth of the story that we're about to get that strategic territory in our life, when the world is going to be compressed and a lot of things are going to happen and things are going to get really, really kind of sad for a lot of people. But we're going to be okay. Just as that famine came in the land during Joseph's time, right? Well, did we store up that treasure in heaven? Did we do good deeds unto others? Did we continue to seek? Did we forgive? Did we love? If we did, that is going to be rewarded tenfold. And if we didn't, if we start, now's the time when it'll actually start to pay off. Things are starting to pay off in our lives, people. I know that it may not look it, but you can't look at it naturally. You got to look at it like a dream. Tomorrow, President Trump, in the presence of Prime Minister Netanyahu, will sign a decree recognizing Israel's sovereignty on the Golan. Israel-U.S. ties are never closer. Acting Foreign Minister Katz tweeted on Sunday, Golan, the fortified city, in the town of Manasseh. Manasseh being the firstborn. Manasseh being a picture of that first part of our life, when we were put down, when we were suffering, That's what it actually means, Golan. Golan actually means their captivity. And then it means their rejoicing in the end. It's a picture of us. Joseph named his firstborn son Manasseh because God had made him forget that first part of his life. He named his second son Ephraim because God made him fruitful in the land in which he was persecuted. Big things are happening, people. Big things are happening. And I hope that you can start looking at your life like there is more. And you'll start to see that beneath all the stuff that you think is just meaningless junk, there is a treasure waiting to be discovered. But you're never going to find it if you don't start asking. Teach me the truth no matter what the cost. Because if you do, you'll find it. You knock, the door's open. You seek, you find. You ask, and it will be given. So ask for the truth no matter what the cost. I love each and every one of you so much. I will see you soon. Thank you for sharing this video around. You know that it's important. If you don't like, if you don't comment, if you don't share, if you don't subscribe, don't keep this light to yourself. When you start to find something that's opening your eyes to more and getting you excited and getting you to see that, you know, when you go to your job and everybody's miserable and you're like, whoa, it's like I'm a super secret agent. You don't know who I am. I'm just playing the role. I'm just wearing the clothes of that former man, and that former man has been set free, is now going to be named a sovereign territory of Israel. That's a big deal, but I'm not talking naturally. Share the video around, will you? Subscribe and have the best day ever. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Jacob Israel. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this channel around. If these shows have helped you, help Jacob to reach more any way you can, and have the best day ever.